Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, YouTubes. This is your home girl, Arabia. Y'all didn't tell me. Didn't tell me we had people on this app, on this platform, on the YouTube streets who, y'all didn't tell me. Y'all didn't warn me. Y'all didn't warn me about it. I said, oh Lord. I was on the YouTubes last night. I was on the YouTubes. And I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked at what I was hearing. hmm Yeah, I was kind of shocked at what I was hearing. I thought about it this morning, right? So you know what? You know what I did? I went over there to where someone said that they liked my comment or X, Y, and Z, right? So I go over there, and not only do I read the response they give me, but I read the response they give to someone else. And there was a few weeks ago. It was a few weeks ago. I had went live. I was on StreamYards, and there was this person in the chat, and I looked at him because I didn't recognize the name, nothing. Now that I have been on the YouTubes, listening, looking, reading, and thus for, all that stuff. Now I know who that is. You know what I mean? Now I know who Lance is. You know what I mean? Word. And I keep hearing the term mama boy. I keep hearing the term mama boy. And that's where I was laughing at. I was laughing so hard because we got a lot of mama boys in real life. You know what I mean? A lot of mama boys that are in the NBA. We got a lot of mama boys that are in the NFL. We got a lot of mama boys that play baseball and, any kind of professional, sport. We got a lot of mama's boys. And I mostly see it with black men. I don't see it too much with the white men, the Latino men, or the Asian men. I see it mostly in my community. And I don't mean no harm, young men out there. You can do whatever you want to do. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. This is your home girl, Arabia Bosa. Yeah. So let's get back to the mama's boy comments. Anyway, to make a long story short, we got a lot of mama's boys in real life. We got mugs that grew up in the projects, They grew up in a poor neighborhood all their lives. And then, boom, one day they get discovered. They either go into Hollywood, the music industry, the professional sports industry, and the first thing they do, these young men, the first thing they do is buy a house and put the mother in the house. Shout out to the chat. Now, it mostly happens in our community. I've heard Tommy Sotomayor talk about this. I heard Tommy talk about this situation a whole lot. And he said it only happens in our community. And I said, well, let me sit back, right? Let me do my research. Let me look around. Let me uh, just experience life a little bit more. And sure enough, Tommy Sotomayor was right. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor for being right when he said we got a lot of mama's boys in our community. And I never understood that. I never understood why a lot of our professional men that go into these sports or they go into entertainment and they become really good at what they're doing, at their craft, at their skill, and they get a certain amount of money, and the first paycheck goes to a down payment on a house for their mother. I never understood that. I never understood why our men, our young men, finds it necessary to purchase a home for a woman that never lifted a finger to get you out of the ghetto, never lifted not one foot to step out of the projects, to step out of public housing, to get off food stamps, to stop clowning around. I feel like this. I feel, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. We got some mothers on this app. We got some fathers on this app. I want to know if people are going to agree with me. I want to know if people are going to agree with me or disagree with me on this subject. Is it necessary? Well, we can't even ask the question. We can't even ask the question. I don't mean no harm, you guys. I don't mean no harm. But if it was me, okay, let's say that I get real good at what I'm doing, right? And I get a new job, I get a promotion, I get a certain amount of money, and the first chance I get, I would get enough money to purchase my own home, right? I would purchase a home for me. I wouldn't necessarily reach back and purchase a home for someone that never did a goddamn thing to improve my life as I was a child. We got a lot of men, a lot of mama's boys. See, not only do we have a lot of beta males, we got a lot of mama's boys. We got a lot of mama's boys in this world. They are very concerned, not about their wife, not about their girlfriend, not about their children. They are very concerned and worried about the welfare of a woman that never lifted a finger to improve their lives when they were children. I don't understand. I don't understand that concept. I don't understand that attitude or that funny style of purchasing a home for a woman that's not your wife, a woman you can't fuck, a woman you can't really do nothing for unless she goes out and does it for herself. Now, we have a lot of women in our community that raise their children on their own. They don't have a man in the house with them and their children, okay, for whatever reason. They can say the government did it. They can say food stamps did it. They can say certain housing programs did it. But, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. And I find it very interesting that a young man that goes into the NFL, the NBA, goes into Hollywood or the music industry, they get a certain amount of money And then all of a sudden, they purchase their mother, the mother's first actual home. And I'm starting to wonder, where are the husbands of these women? Why didn't the woman go out and do it on her own? Why does she have to depend on her grown ass children? It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, people can say, well, Arabia, it's a culture thing. I don't believe in culture when it comes to people that don't help me as I'm growing up. I don't believe in culture when I know my biggest enemy, my biggest rival is the mother. Not my father. It's the mother. In my case, the mother is the enemy. I've always felt that way. I've always had that attitude, even after I met the woman years ago. And I kept asking myself, Reba, when are you going to let go of the fact that this bitch didn't do her fucking job? This bitch didn't do what she was made to do. Because I feel like this, if you can spread your legs and spit children out like it ain't fucking nothing, and you don't do nothing for your children, you don't deserve what they have. When they get grown and they get the bag, you don't deserve nothing what they have. But we got this funny style in our community where the young men, not so much the young women, the young men find it necessary to purchase a home for their mothers. I never hear about it in the white communities. They might do it, but you don't hear about it. There was a couple of years ago, right? I was living in Columbia, South Carolina. There was this lady that used to come to the house all the time. And I remember she was in a 12-step program. She had a sponsor. She was going to meetings. She was doing X, Y, and Z, right? She had a son. The son went into the NFL. He became a professional football player. She ended up leaving from Columbia, South Carolina, because her son had purchased her a home far away from Columbia, South Carolina. I don't know where she moved. I don't know how fast she was moving, but I do know there was a time period where she did leave, and I never saw her again. And one of the reasons why she was given the reason as to why she was leaving so abruptly and so quickly is because her son had purchased her a home and she wanted to move into it right away. I said, excuse me, you're in a 12-step program, you're getting sober, you got a sponsor, you got sponsees, and you're leaving because your son purchased you a home you should have purchased yourself. I'm not feeling this. I'm not getting the message. I'm kind of confused. Someone please explain it to me. Can someone please explain this thought process to me? Because I don't understand it. If everything goes well in a few more weeks, I'm going to purchase me another device, right? Set it up, get it activated, set it up, and then have it set where I could use that number for that particular phone to hook up in here and then have people call in. You know what I mean? Okay, look at me right now. I'm going live right now, right? And this would be the perfect time for people to call in and be like, hey, Arabia, X, Y, and Z, yo. And then they'll give me their opinions. You know what I mean? This way, like, if my moderators are in the chat, right? And if I had that phone already set up and the phone number ready for them, they could actually call in and be like, yo, Arabia, X, Y, and Z. Yo, good morning. Arabia, this is my opinion. Arabia, this is what I'm thinking. You know, I want to get a setup where it be like that. And I would have to buy me another phone and get it activated and then give out the number, you know, give out the number. And then when I go live, like if I'm going live on the vertical while I'm live, people could actually be calling in and, you know, be saying X, Y, and Z, good morning. Hey, Arabia, what's going on? Stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking about doing. If everything goes well. You know, the job I'm on, right? One of the dudes, he was on that job for like three weeks, like almost a month. And that seems to be a long-lasting job. So if I continue to stay on that job, that is what I want to do for my audience. So we can like have an open communication, because the StreamYards is kind of cool. The StreamYards is pretty cool, but everyone is not comfortable with hitting the link. You know what I mean? Some people would rather call in. You know what I mean? So shout out to the chat. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting that done. And I would have to purchase another phone, get it activated, get the number for the phone, and then put it like on my community wall and be like, yo, this is how people get in touch with me when I go live on vertical. You know what I mean? And that way my moderators can call in. Certain YouTube creators can actually call in and be like, yo, Arabia, X, Y, and Z. Shout out to the chat. Because I was thinking to myself how good of an idea that would be. You know what I mean? This way, my moderators and everyone will have more access. You know what I mean? Because I have like one particular person that does call me, but they call me and they've been knowing me for years. So of course they can call me. I'm just saying, like, something for my moderators and certain subscribers. You know what I mean? And that way, maybe we can get more conversation going on. Shout out to the chat. And shout out to the chat. So good morning. I'm not going to be up here very long, but I just wanted to know what other people's opinion is about that. About certain young men who are mama's boys. And I don't understand how a young man becomes a mama's boy. Only thing I can say, and I'm going to give you a perfect example. Richard Carpenter. Richard Carpenter, he seems to me to be a mother's boy. He is the brother of Karen Carpenter, and the mother was more involved with the son. She was very, very, very concerned about the son. It seemed like to me that she loved the son more than she loved her own daughter. It seems like that's what's going on in the real world too, because I see a lot of mothers that give more fucks about their sons than their daughters. You know what I mean? They treat the daughter with a funny style. When the daughter becomes a certain age, the mother encourages the daughter to leave home early. You know what I mean? How you gonna put out your baby out of the house? Even though she may be female, she got female body parts. They get put out the house quicker than the men. And I seen it happen in my own family, the family that raised me and my brother. They allowed my brother to live there as a grown man. And I believe now that they have passed away, he still lives at that house. And I'm like, when you are like 50, he'll be 52 years old this year. He has not moved out of the house. At the same house we grew up in when we moved from New York to South Carolina. He has not left that house. He had left it periodically before in the past. But I always wondered why she encouraged him to stay on at that house. I always wondered why she encouraged him. And it kind of like dawned on me the reason why she did, because when we appeared at the age we did when we went to foster care and got adopted, when we went into the system, I was 18 months old. He was 9 months old? He was considered still a baby. Even though I was a baby too, it didn't matter about me because I was like, almost 2 years old. I could remember who my parents were, who my grandparents were, and a lot of people felt threatened by that. You know what I mean? They never felt comfortable with that. And as I got older, I found out certain things that I wanted to know, and I felt that I had the right to search for my own parents. I really did. I really believed that I had the right to search for my own parents, but I never was a mama's nothing or papa's nothing. You know what I mean? Nobody ever chose me to be their favorite or their chosen or the one they would break their neck for, they break their arm for. You know what I mean? I didn't get that until I went to the fucking penitentiary, until I went out or, on my own into the Job Corps, or if I went out on, when I'm going to put it like this, when I became an adult and I went out in the world on my own, and usually that happens early for females. So for me, at the age of 17, that's where I knew it was time for me to leave, time for me to grow up, time for me to go, time for me to never come back. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. That's exactly what the fuck I did, because once I left that house, I never came back there to live. I didn't even want to come back to fucking visit. Shout out to the chat. Why would I want to be bothered with people that never really gave a fuck about me? You know what I mean? And I don't mean no harm. There's a lot more people on this platform that really, really like me as a person better than my own. And I can't understand it. Can't understand it. Don't understand it, yo. Shout out to the chat. But I was wondering why we got this thing with the mama's boys. And Lance, he seems to be one of them. Isn't Lance a YouTube creator now? While he was live in OSD video, I looked at his channel. I didn't subscribe or nothing. I just looked at the channel. It's like, he only been here a little while. He's a YouTube creator, and he's crying about another woman on his platform. She said something wrong to him. He went running to his mother and told the mother. He's a mama's boy for real. Only a mama's boy would do something like that. Somebody say something to you that you don't fucking like, right? You get mad. You tell your mama. He tells his mama on other people on the YouTubes. Somebody make me understand. We got beta males on the YouTubes. Now we got mama's boys. Oh Lord. These women are not doing a good job of raising their children. They're not doing a very nice job. Man. Oh, Lord, I can't get over it. I can't get over it, you guys. But it's true. And it mostly happens in our fucking community, where these young men will go out into the world, get a certain bag, right? Turn back, right? They turn right back around. They go back into the neighborhood. They go back to the rundown house that they lived in with their mother, or they run back to the projects, to the same apartment unit that the mother lived in, knocked on the door, and tells the mother, you ain't got to live here no more. I found you a brand new house. It's not in this neighborhood. Matter of fact, it's not even in this fucking state. So you're going to have to move into the house right away. I don't see professional sports men doing it. I've never heard of Larry Bird purchasing a home for his mother. I never heard of those two brothers that were, they both was in the NFL. I never heard of them purchasing a home for their mother. But our little black boys will actually do it. I've seen black men, right, move out of the neighborhood and they will get a house built, right? And they will turn right back around into the old neighborhood and knock on the door and go get their mother. They'll get their mother quicker than they'll go get their girlfriend or get their wife. The wife might be living in the same neighborhood. And I've seen it done. I've seen it done where they move the mother into the house first. Then they come back and be like, go and get their girlfriend or go and get their wife. And then later on, they go get their children to live in this house mother lives. And everyone knows that two queens cannot live with each other. Let's say that again for the people in the back, for the people that are not here and the people that will catch the replay. Two queens cannot live in the same house. Two queens cannot live under the same roof. It's not going to be possible. See, just like how the bees do their thing, where there can only be one queen, there can only be one queen. It can't be Two queens, because of the two queens, and this has been found to be scientific sound and proof that two queen bees, if one is already in existence, right? And she's going around laying her eggs, laying her eggs, laying her eggs. She's enjoying herself, laying all these wonderful eggs. There is a high percentage chance that maybe out of the 2,000 eggs that she laid that day, there might be 5 queens. She's going to get into a fight with one of those queens. Sooner or later, the queens usually find each other and they kill each other. That's what happens. And that seems to be going on in real life as well. That seems to be going on in real life as well on the human level. Two queens cannot live in the same house. They can't do it. They can't get along with each other. Two alpha females in the same house. Now, they could probably coexist, being in a club together, being on a job together, being in a grocery store together. See, they don't seek each other out in real life. Like, okay, let's say I go to a grocery store and there's two queens up in there, right? And they're not going to kill each other as soon as they see each other. They're not going to sniff the air and say, oh shit, I feel in danger. There's another queen up in here. I must find her right away so I can get rid of her. You know, the female human mind doesn't run that way. In the animal kingdom, like the lions, wolves, dogs, cats, you know, they have that thing going on where there can only be one queen. There could only be one. Shout out to the chat. I haven't been to a grocery store yet where there's two alpha females in there and they sniff each other out and they find each other in the grocery store, in the aisles of Walmart, ShopRite, Pathmark, Stop and Shop. I haven't seen it yet where two women just seek each other out and kill each other because both of them are queens. I haven't seen it yet. I've been on YouTubes for a long time, and we've had a lot of women who consider themselves to be queens, or they call themselves queens, or they have it in their name, they have it on their handle, but I haven't seen even none of them come after each other in a terrible way, trying to destroy each other. Oh, there she go. Every time I see her, I must destroy her. I must try to vanquish her. She must be banished. She must be put in exile. She must be excommunicated. I haven't seen that on this app. You know what I mean? Chat. And it seems like the men don't seem to understand that there is a thing going on where the women can't live in the same house with each other. So I don't understand why these men go out of their way to grow up. Because you have to grow up in order to do it. Even the drug dealers that make a certain amount of money a month, they make it their business to pay their mother's bills. And the mother will know where the money is coming from. She knows that's not money coming from McDonald's or Burger King or Macy's or Walmart. She knows the money is not coming from a construction company, from her son working all that week. No, she knows that he's selling drugs. She knows that he's selling drugs to the neighborhood. He's out there in the streets. He's carrying a gun. She knows that he's selling drugs. She knows when he comes to the money and hands her money to pay her Con Edison bill, she knows where that money is coming from. She knows where that money is coming from if he doesn't hand her the money and he puts it in an envelope and puts it in her mailbox. And she goes to her mailbox and she retrieves the envelope that has the money in it. She knows that that's not coming because her son is dancing and singing somewhere. No. These mothers seem to find pleasure in taking advantage of the children that they were supposed to have been protected, that they were supposed to have provided for when the children were young. Now, when these children get a certain age, they feel that they got to turn back around and take care of people that didn't fucking take care of them. Shout out to the chat. I think this is what this video is all about. Word. Good morning, Mrs. V. Good morning. Thank you for coming in. I don't know how long you've been in here, but my eyes were closed a little bit. Shout out to you. Yeah. So it's good to see you, Mrs. V. I think we was in OSD's chat together last night, Mrs. V. Yup, we was in OSD chat last night together because I do remember telling you and Just Jay about me wanting to get a phone so I could activate the shit. So like if I'm going live right now, like doing this video right now, this is the vertical live, that while I'm doing a vertical live, people could be calling in because there's no link. I'm not able to drop a link for this particular video because it's vertical, but I dropped the links on my StreamYards too. I dropped the links on my StreamYards, but a lot of people don't feel comfortable hitting the link. They would rather call in. And I think that's a good idea. It's a good idea. You know what I mean? I see certain other YouTube creators doing it. So I said, well, why not? Why not do it? Just get you a cheap ass phone, get it set up where it could be hooked up to the Bluetooth, get it activated so people could call in and, talk to me like that. Like how you in the chat right now, Mrs. V, I'm sure you have something to say. So you be like, you couldn't really like type it or, there's no link. So what would you do? You would like to call in and be like, hey, good morning, Arabia, X, Y, and Z. This is my opinion. And then we'll have a conversation and you would hang up. And then the next person can actually call in and be like, hey, Arabia, this is what I think, X, Y, and Z. I think it'd be a good idea. That's what I think. We got 2 in the building. We got 4 likes. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, I was just trying to, and I didn't have no title for this video. This video is about mama's boys and how they truly exist. And seem like they're on the YouTubes. Seem like we got a lot of mama's boys on the YouTubes. Now we got, and I don't mean no harm. I don't mean no harm, but I don't mean no harm, but I do mean some harm. It seems like those men that are very close to their mothers and the mothers raised them a certain way, they end up having an issue with the women that enter into their lives later on as they become adults. Some of these men become very abusive towards their significant others. Not so much because, they just feel like bullying somebody. It's because they have mama's issues. And most of the ones that got mama's issues is 2 different categories. Either they're mama's boy or their mama didn't love them enough and the mother didn't pay attention to them enough. And we got a lot of young men in the world that are hurting right now. They're grown men, but on the inside, they're still little boys and they feel hurt because their mother didn't pay any attention to them. Look at DMX. Perfect example. His mother didn't really give two fucks about DMX. DMX was mostly raised by the system, the group home system in New York, in Westchester County. He had more of a relationship with his grandmother. And so when the grandmother died, what did DMX do? Because DMX was already in recovery. He was trying to recover from drugs and alcohol and all that. But when the grandmother passed away, what did he do? He went right back to the streets. He went right back into using drugs. You never hear him mention anything about his mother, because I know when DMX became a rapper, a well-known famous rapper, and he had all kinds of albums, he was in movies, I only heard of him buying and purchasing a home for his wife and his children that he had with his wife. I never heard him say he went out and purchased a home for his mother. And why would he? Because as soon as the bitch was able to, she was able to abandon him, dump him, leave him, walk away from him. Of course, he wasn't going to do nothing for her. But he grew up. He he became addicted to drugs. He was married, and there were certain things that went wrong. Shout out to the Jack. And he became a womanizer. And I think he loved his wife. I think he really did love his wife, but being in that industry, he also felt like he could date other women too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of men that do that. Shout out to the chat. So we got a lot of issues in our community. I said one thing. I did this video to do one thing, and I'm hitting on 5 different subjects all at one time. And I hate doing that. That's why I like for other people to have, like, be able to express their opinions. Shout out to the chat. I think it's a good conversation to have. You know what I mean? Because it's going on. It's happening every day. I mean, the men that I work with, I never hear them say, okay, I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to get me a place to live, and I'm going to go get my mother from wherever she's at. I never hear them say that, because usually, and the men I work with, they're usually rejected by the mother, or they feel that it's time for them to stand on their own 2 feet. Because a lot of these dudes, if they're not homeless, guess who they live with? Their mother. They live with their mother. I don't really hear too. Now, they say they live with their girlfriend. I really don't hear too much of it. I really don't hear too much of it, see too much of it. But I do know a lot of them dudes live with their fucking mother. Or they got an ongoing relationship where they see their mother on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I never hear, like, them say, you know, X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? About a girlfriend or about a wife. It's very few. You know what I mean? But I always hear, you know, some men talk about their mothers in such a way that let me know they don't have a girlfriend. They're not even married. They got kids in the world. They've been with women, but they always run back to mom. And why do the moms do not let their children grow up, especially these male children? And we got a lot of male children on the YouTube streets. And we got some mugs that actually live with their mother. And I think that's a crying shame. Why are you living with your moms? Or why your mom's living with you? You know what I mean? I've seen some motherfuckers who will tell the whole world that their moms is living with them, and they really living under their mother's roof. The house is in the mother name. Everything's in the mother name. The bills, all that. Shout out to the chat. And that's reality. So we've been live for a little while, like 45 minutes. So I'm out of here. I'm going to close out this video, but I'm not going to close out my opinions, my private thoughts, or my point of view. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home girl, closer. 20Z2. 20Z2 kuja na mimi. Yo, shout out to the chat. Karibu ni umbani kewango. Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all. It's time for me to go. I got some things I got to do today. Today is Sunday. Shout out to the chat. So this is the last day to do everything before Monday morning. Monday morning, I go right back to work. And I was looking at my wallet earlier, and I was saying to myself, oh my goodness, I have the money to actually travel on the bus. And it feels good, you know what I mean? To be actually to do these things on my own, you know what I mean? So that's it. I'm out. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all for coming over. We got 4 in the building. We got 3 in the building. We got 5 likes. So shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for coming over. Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone has an awesome day. Thank you for coming in. And this is V. It looks like you were the only one that was typing in. We have some people listening. That's cool. That's cool. Shout out to them. I'm out. I got things to do. I know you guys got things to do today too. So that's why I didn't want this video to be more than what it is right now. There's no need for this video to be an hour long. And shout out to the chat. I already laughed. I already did my point of view. I already gave my random thoughts. I already gave my opinion. And I'm out. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all for coming over. I really, truly appreciate it. One.